Good morning. It is Thursday morning, July 30th, 2020. My name is Kevin. I'm one of the pastors with Tierra Nueva, and I am here to do a devotional with you. I want to read for you from Psalm 144, verses 9 through 12. And then I will be telling you about an individual from 1800s Britain who helped to change the course of an empire. So pretty crazy. But first with the song. Oh God, I will sing to you a new song. I will play to you on a 10-string lyre. You give victory to kings and have rescued David your servant. Rescue me from the hurtful sword and deliver me from the hand of foreign peoples, whose mouths speak deceitfully and whose right hand is raised in falsehood. Give us holy boldness, Lord, to struggle for justice until we die. So I want to tell you about a guy named William Wilberforce. He was born in 1759 and he died in 1833. And he was an evangelical Christian in the 18th century England, and he dedicated his life to abolishing slavery. I think it's fitting that I find this stuff about William Wilberforce for where we are at as a nation with having this race conversation at the forefront. I've said this before, we are right now in the midst of the largest civil rights movement in world history. So what can history teach us about what we need to do today? So I think we need to take a page out of William's book. And so here we go. Wilberforce was elected to Parliament, which is England's deciding government, right? So kind of like how we have Congress and the House and the Senate and the President, they have Parliament there. And after this guy William had a spiritual rebirth, Wilberforce began to see his life purpose to use his political life in the service of God. So there's a difference there. He's not using God in the service of his political life. He's using the service of his political life in the service of God. Does that make sense? There's a difference. He believed that there was no evil greater than the institution of slavery, and he once wrote, "Let the consequences be what they would. I from this time determined that I would never rest until I had effected its abolition." So what this guy is saying is that he's not going to rest until slavery is no more, right? And so in 1798, he began his campaign, speaking and circulating flyers and petitions and introducing bills in Parliament. And in 1806, Wilberforce managed to get a bill in Parliament passed that prohibited slavery in all British colonies. Prohibited slavery in all British colonies. And by the time Wilberforce died in 1833, through his diligence and his work, Parliament had finally passed a bill that would free all slaves throughout the British Empire. This was in 1833. We now live in 2020, where it is in many ways still a crime to be a person of color, and we need to change that. Wilberforce did it as an elected official, so here's my encouragement to you. Find out who your reps are and write them. If they don't respond, find out who your reps are and call them. If they don't respond, find out who your reps are and go see them. Enact change. This one man in the pursuit of God and God's mission here on earth, of everybody being created as equal and in the image of God, sought to abolishing slavery within the British Empire, and he did it. Now, imagine if all of our voices went to our legislators, and if our legislators don't work for us, then vote in new ones. Bring forth the change that you want to see in the world. So, let me pray. Father, stir our hearts that we might have the holy boldness to struggle for justice. Until we die, give us visions larger than those we create for ourselves, and root us in humility, Lord, that we might climb towards your heights through service. Amen. Go be of service to your brothers and sisters of color. Get a hold of whoever it is that decides in power. Write them, call them, go see them. Be the change you want to see in the world. Blessings, my friends.